Got it going. Hey, Naptown Tuner here. We have a 2017 3-liter supercharged A7. So we've got this engine cover on here. You need to always be careful with these engine covers. You kind of have to gently wiggle and pull. There's 4 different spots right here. You just be careful with them, because if you just rip it off from the side or something, you could, this cover gets hot a lot from sitting on top of the engine. So you need to be careful with pulling this cover off. We'll just set this to the side, put it on this side, because we've got our oil filter right here. This is the plastic cartridge filter that goes in right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just take off, to relieve the pressure. I'm going to take off this. Sometimes you put it right here, so it is possible for someone to forget to put this back on. So rather than putting it somewhere like this where it could fall in the engine bay, or up here where you might forget it, it's actually best practice just to go ahead and put it right here. That way when you close the hood, you know for a fact it's not on. Because to tell you the truth, one time in my career I forgot to put an oil cap on. So you might be able to do that too if you don't practice this. So I'm going to loosen this cartridge filter here. You want to get these caps right here, this oil filter. Well, you don't necessarily have to use a slim one. You could use one for like a axle nut or something, but it's nice to get these right here, these oil filter caps, the wrench right there. So don't use a pair of pliers or anything, you're gonna mess it up. And this full synthetic 5W40, 0W40. This is a little bit of a trick. Got to kind of wiggle it out, and then you could use a rag or something. I got this bag from the auto parts store, so I'm just gonna put this right here and try to hurry up and throw it up here so I don't get oil. Now, that's my new oil filter here, cartridge filter. I'm just gonna pull that out. See, this looks identical. Just gonna slide that right in. You want to make sure that this centerpiece is in here. Pop that into place, and then we're gonna slide this cartridge back in. We're gonna get it started by hand, and now I'm gonna screw it back in. I'm working on resetting the oil light at the same time I'm doing this, so I gotta get under here and occasionally do some computer work. All right, so the oil filter portion's done. It's tight. Now we've got, where do we drain the oil? Well, believe it or not, Audi designed it to where you can pull this little plug and you can drain it right from this dipstick hole. They do sell aftermarket dipsticks that you can put in there, but that's where this plug comes into play. You just take this right out, and then you take a vacuum pump. This is the better one that they make from Harbor Freight. Make sure that this pipe's clean, and then we're just gonna insert it. Now the engine is hot, it just ran. You want to have hot, churned up oil before you start doing this. Now this is also empty, so I can verify how much I pull out. All right, that's doing its job. Looks like the coolant level is a little bit lower than minimum. Now it will change whenever I pop this cap, but I'm gonna go ahead and top it off while I do this service. So you see, when I pop the cap, it relieves the pressure, but I'm still under minimum. So while this is pumping, this is distilled water with brand new coolant mix. I guess they don't sell it full strength anymore, so you have to buy the 50/50. So just under max there. I can't remember exactly how much oil this engine takes. I'm pretty sure it's 6.8 quarts. It's going to take a minute for it to suck all that out. Believe it or not though, it's already at 5.5 quarts. We're pushing close to 6 quarts already, so you see how fast this thing is moving? Levels right here. Now it's starting to gurgle, so listen closely. So what you want to do is you want to pull this hose up and down right here. This is how you make sure that it's all the way clear. So all the way to the very bottom, we're sucking air the whole way. Not only that, but we're already just about to 7 quarts. So both of these things verify that we got all the oil out. So when it's done with its last gurgles, see, it's getting really violent here. That's pretty much all air now. There's no more gurgling. So we're going to set this to the side. And it's time for our brand new oil. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself by pouring it all over the engine. All right, there's 5 quarts. We need just under 2 more. Put this back in. See, I put this by the oil cap as well, so we don't forget it. I've also forgot to put one of these back in before. When you're working flat rate and you're working against the clock, sometimes you can make mistakes like that. That's the problem with how mechanics are paid. I don't want to overfill it, so that's just under 2 quarts right there. That's probably perfect. Still waiting on the scan tool. I'm going to start it up and check the oil level with the cluster. So I can it's already at operating temperature, so all I need to do is run the engine for about 30 seconds to make sure that the oil filter is all the way saturated and oils all the way displaced through the engine, so I get a proper oil level reading. So that's long enough. Now I'm going to go just hit the car button. So we'll go car, and then car systems. Service and control, oil level. It'll say wait approximately 2 minutes, engine must be warm and turned off. It normally takes about 1 minute. Let's go ahead and just throw this cap back on. Maybe I did that prematurely, but I'm pretty confident with my oil level. Let's check the oil level real quick. You want to make sure that it doesn't say please drain oil. If it says please drain oil, that means you're overfilled, but the oil level's dead money. Now I just gotta finish up with the Audi scan tool to reset the light. That's all there is to it. You don't need to know about the Audi scan tool. All right, Naptown Tuner.